We're here with Adam Soldati, Purdue diving coach. There's been a great deal of excitement about Purdue diving over the last several years. Tell us about the ascendancy of Purdue diving.
Well, I'll tell you what, my wife and I started Purdue. This is my 8th season at Purdue, and our philosophy, what we really wanted to do when we got to Purdue was, first and foremost, just recruit young men and women that had the athletic potential to perform at a high level. But more importantly, when they came to Purdue, is that our philosophy is to help them reach their greatest potential, first as a person and then as a diver. And we've just continued to try to, as we pursue these goals with diving, we've tried to just do it with integrity and character and make sure that we really maintain that the essential piece of this is that we're developing young men and young women that are going to be prepared when they're done with diving.
Has the fact that you've had the Boilermaker Aquatic Center, which is a pretty special place these days, helped in the diving recruitment process?
Certainly. You can't do it without a facility. My hat goes off to Morgan Burke, our AD, and everybody in our athletic department that has really taken an effort to put all of our facilities at a level that is as good or equal to some of the best in the country, and that is an essential piece. You got to have the tools that it takes to perform at this level.
You had David Budaya for 3 years, and then he turned pro after winning here last year. What's it like to have an athlete like him and develop him to the potential that he has?
It's a great opportunity to have an athlete like him, but it's really no different than taking any athlete and allowing them to reach their greatest potential. David clearly had many gifts that were given by God that he had nothing to do with, and it was our potential it was our effort just to help him realize that potential. And so, for him to be able to step up on the podium and win a gold medal is certainly an excitement that is really unbelievable to me, that God even allows us to experience that kind of thrill on this side of heaven. But really, it's just as exciting to take a kid and make a Big Ten final if that's his potential.
When an athlete comes in, they wouldn't be good if they weren't recruited by you at Purdue. How do you take them on that 4-year road to becoming a better person and B, a better diver?
Well, I think there's a lot of steps in that. I mean, clearly, I think when it comes to being growing as a person, one of our philosophies is just been, it's not about the results. And if we get too hung up in the results, then really sometimes what we find is coaches and athletes are willing to do whatever it takes to attain that result. And what we wanted to model for them is that, yes, we're gonna set goals and we're gonna set high goals, but that's not the main point, is that we reach that goal. The main point is that in the pursuit of that goal is that we display character and we grow in character. And I believe God has created athletics to reveal character inside of us, and sometimes it's going to reveal really good character, and sometimes it's going to reveal character that needs to be worked on. And we want to embrace both of those and encourage the character that's great, but then work on the character that's not, regardless of the end result.
For somebody who aspires to dive in college and at Purdue, what are you looking for? What do they need to present to you for you to be interested?
There's certainly just characteristics that are going to make a great diver. We're looking at flexibility and strength and quickness and many things like that. But, ultimately I do the best I can to, try to find athletes that are passionate about the sport of diving, and they're passionate about growing as a person. They need to be passionate about academics as well, because Purdue is a very, a high-end institution academically. And so really just passionate people. I'm not looking for people that have all their character figured out, and they're, because they're not going to be at 17, 18 years old, but kids that are passionate about diving and passionate about life, and they're coachable, that they're willing to listen, they're willing to submit to my authority and allow me to lead them and guide them. And I believe if a young man or woman will let me lead and guide them, then we can grow as a person and as a diver.
In terms of accomplishment, a lot of times coaches, swim coaches will recruit swimmers based on time. What kind of accolades do they need to have accumulated by the time they go through the recruiting process?
Sure. There's no set There's no set criteria of accolades. I've recruited kids that are, you know, they've never competed outside of high school, and all they've competed on is a 1 meter springboard, and they've ended up leaving Purdue as an All-American on platform. And then you've recruited kids that, you know, are like David, that were previous Olympians. So really it's going to go all over the board, and I think that's important on a team, is you're not just going to have the high-end kids with all the accolades, but you're going to have the full gamut. You're going to have the, you know, the kids that are walking on that have a passion for the sport, and the kids that have all the accolades. So there's no set criteria.